don't want to record all of this. Keepers, this is not making sense. See if you can get her on the cell phone. Yours or my cell phone. Folks, in the meantime, out there, we're having difficulty reaching our panel, and of course, this is why I'm anxious and you're anxious too. This is the Metacenter, of course, on Saturday the 21st, and our whole planet is rocking and rolling with so many things that are going on. For those of you who joined the conference, we try to make this open for everybody today so you can begin to understand better what's happening on our planet, what's happening in Chicago, which of course is known for the shoot-up capital now of the world, but what's happening in your minds and heart is what's really behind everything, because we're going to get exactly what we think we should get. Pardon me? Okay. All right. So she can go through there? Did you tell her what to do? Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully we'll soon be joined by our panel, which is I'm as anxious as you are to hear from. As we go around the world, now I don't know whether we should go around the world or not. There's so many things that are happening, of course. We have a typhoon heading for Hong Kong, China. We have another one, a hurricane heading toward the islands. We have a hurricane heading toward the Gulf of Mexico. We have innumerable volcanoes around the earth now that are mumbling and bubbling, and so if you would, and of course that goes for Krakatoa, which we haven't heard, but I don't know when. That goes also, for the, I had this other one listed here too because there's a new one that joined our cloud here. Let me see if I can find it. I put it aside as I was trying to get, that's the one, of course, Kilauea in Hawaii is now again simmering. Etna in Sicily is simmering. Kamchatka in Russia is simmering. Popocatépetl, yes, last night it started simmering. Pocoranaka in Indonesia, it is simmering. As I say again, we have another typhoon headed toward Hong Kong, China. And they said that the solar cycle is down, that there are very little solar flares that are happening. Well, that's not what I'm hearing again also. I understand that a major solar storm is affecting opposite us, our Earth, and is affecting an incoming object. Now, what does an incoming object mean? They're talking about another comet or something headed this way. And it seems as though the sun is either more interested in it than us, or we're getting bad reports from our astrophysicists, our meteorologists, and so on like this. Either way, folks, it is not a dull time. As we speak, of course, there are many scandals that are coming up with the chemical industry, many scandals that are coming up with the things that they're putting into our water. Okay, and then also I understand, too, that our guest panel is here, and if they are here, I don't want to waste another bit of time with world events. We'll just do that only if you want to at the end of our show. Are we joined now by our panelists?
I'm here, Dr. Blair.
Okay, now who is here? Who is the main person I'm speaking to now?
Okay, this is Derek Robinson.
Yes, Derek. Okay, I waited for you. Now, are the other people that are with you now with you, or what?
And they are also here. Yeah.
They're also there now. So you all are available to me?
Yes.
Good. All right, fine. All right, for those of you out in the telecom land again, per se, I'm not going to hesitate by going through some of the stuff I have here as far as information on what's happening on our planet. I think you know that I feel that this is the time for all kind of catastrophes to happen, and hopefully after this we'll get into calm waters. I'm also understanding that our planet is going from kindergarten to grad school, and there are many forces out there collectively called the Illuminati who do not wish this to happen. We also recently that a guy by the name, or a man by the name of Aaron Alexis in Washington, D.C. went on a shooting rampage. And you go along with that, with the weather and the riots and the killing and the shooting and the fires and the floods, and you say, well, this is just another one. But his story was unique. He said that he was hearing voices, that he had heard voices for some time. Voices were plaguing him no matter where he went. He said again that in much as he tried to get help from doctors, police, none would listen to him. Finally, it ended with what we understood to be a terrible shootout, killing most of the people and himself too. Well, I'm saying that he is not the only person that is probably T-eyed. T-eyed will soon learn is what a lot of people are. TI, you soon learn that acronym is very deadly. And it also means that others are AI, which means, again, they have artificial intelligence. There's some things walking around here looking human that are not. But with that in mind, and I also want to say one other thing then, too. Of the shootings over the last 6 months in the Chicago area, 9 of them were children under 8 years of age, which meant that they were not singled out unless it was singled out by other than gang members. It means, again, that bullets have no distinction. They take out young, they take out old, whichever they do. Derek, if you will, please, I don't know whether you want to introduce your guests by names or whether they wish to be anonymous. I'm not sure how you want to handle it from here, so I'm going to turn it over to you to take over and let me kind of ask some questions as we go along, if necessary.
Okay, I thought I would give an overview of the organization, Dr. Blair, if I could, and then I'll introduce the speakers.
Please do.
Okay,
my name is all TI'd, and you called the Freedom from Covert Harassment and, again, Surveillance. So with that in mind, you are the true spokesman. Please listen. I'm sorry, please go ahead. Our audience is listening, and I'm raptured.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Blair. My name is Derek Robinson. I'm president of Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance. We're a human rights organization currently comprised of about 2,500 survivors of advanced surveillance.
You're coming through very faint. Can you speak any louder or anything? Let's see. What's happening now?
Okay.
Hello? Much better. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, much better now. Go on, please. Now, if you repeat what you said.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Let's see. I may have to, if we get some interference, I may have to mute a few of the lines here, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, why don't I go ahead and mute some people first, because it might be some...
Okay, you're fine with me now. If you can still hear me, I can hear you very well now. You don't have to mute anything.
You are unmuted.
As long as you guys can hear me okay, I'll go ahead then.
All right.
I'm Derek Robinson, president of Freedom from Covert Harassment and Surveillance. We're a human rights organization currently comprised of about 2,500 survivors of advanced surveillance and mind control technologies. We are dealing with what is known as organized stalking and remote electronic assault, which is basically what Aaron Alexis was dealing with. Organized stalking is stalking and harassment that's done to an individual by a group of people. And remote electronic assaults are attacks using various forms of weaponized energy, such as microwaves, lasers, acoustic weapons, and other types to produce a variety of effects on the mind and or body of an individual, such as disorientation, headaches, memory loss, eye damage, heart attacks, strokes, cancer, sleep deprivation, ringing in the ears, nosebleeds, breathing difficulties, heating of the skin, muscle cramps, and much more. Our group started in 2005, and we've been in existence for about 8 years. The focus of our activism is in 3 main areas: networking and support for victim survivors, advocacy of our issues to elected officials, and outreach to the media and the general public.
All right, so if I understand, if I understand then, you've been in existence since 2005. Your group numbers 2,500 people, is that what you said?
That's correct.
Okay, and these people all hear ringing in the ears, they all have nosebleeds, they all have voices or things within their consciousness again. No matter where they go, they seem to be exposed to microwaves or ELF propagations, and they're all going through the same kind of hell that was reported again by Aaron Alexis. Is this what you're also saying?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So because of that, you guys have come together, and seemingly this is not just one person. There are a number of people going through this again. How do you think this all started, or why do you think this all started?
Well, we believe that these are secret government programs, which is why Aaron Alexis, I believe, attacked the Washington Navy Yard. And these are mind control programs that started way back in the 50s and are continuing today. I believe that there is a population control agenda that is happening for all humans on the planet. And those of us that are aware of this are kind of in the first wave of those who are being mind controlled, at least the attempts at mind control. And I believe eventually it will make its way to the entire population.
You feel that everybody will soon be under this kind of mind control and that this is a government plan thing or some organ or entity within the government that is doing this?
Exactly.
Yeah. So now when you say TI, what does TI mean? Even though I understand now you already said the outcome of TI, but what is the word, what do the letters or acronym TI stand for?
Okay, that stands for targeted individual, and basically means someone who is targeted with either the stalking or the microwave energy attacks or both.
Okay. All right. The people that are now with you on the panel all are targeted individuals. They all have been stalked. Is there someone who's has this has happened to over a longer length of time than others? And is it worse as it gets older, or do you begin to adapt to it and find ways to possibly help yourself now that you've been under it for such a very long time? And by the way, congratulations for being able to single out and still be able to think under those kind of circumstances.
Okay, and the question is open to anyone here. You might want to introduce yourselves before answering some of the questions.
Hello?
Yes, on the panel, we're listening
hello.
to you. If you can give a name or something, well,
yes.
You can introduce whoever is there. I'd appreciate it if you choose.
Anders. Hello,
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead,
Go
please.
ahead.
Hi, Dr. Blair. This is Amy Lee Anderson. And I did research after looking back on my life. This just did not start. Most people think that they became a targeted individual when they first became under these attacks. However, everyone has their own belief how they became a targeted individual. But what is happening, a lot of people are becoming targeted by the technology that doesn't understand the technology and think they are dealing with or suffering from some medical condition. But, Dr. Blair, I realized prior mysterious things was happening in my life before I realized I was a targeted individual. I became married to an immigrant, which he was a stranger in my life, and once I became married to this man, how I met him, mysteriously I had car mechanical failure that shut down my car system. And this man came in my life to offer me services to help me. But he, too, could be used under mind control to be a human subject handler. And a handler is someone placed under mind control that's used to come into the primary target life and use them as to handle or to manipulate the life experiences of a targeted individual to have their way in their ultimate goal in the target's life. So what had happened...
Okay, now let me say... Okay, now hold on. Wait a minute, please listen to me. Now you're saying again that in your individual case, you were then... you met someone who's supposed to help you that you now think did not help you, but might have been someone connected with the government or this agency to make things worse and to manipulate you? Is that what I'm understanding, yes or no?
Well, no. What you are hearing, that he was placed under mind control himself to be used to target me, to manipulate my life experiences. And I'm going to share with you what happened in my life that led up to my targeting with this man in my life.
Okay, now let me ask you this. How many other people are there on this panel?
Okay, we have about 5 other people here with us this
Okay, so what I'd like to do would be to go through each panelist briefly stating their overview, and then we can go back again. So now people will understand the difference. So in other words, what I'm saying is, and I understand this is heartfelt and you guys are not playing. I'm not playing either. But people would want to know who's on that panel, what each one says. So now she kind of gave her background. If she could give me somebody else there, give briefly, maybe for a couple of minutes, their background, and then we can start back with you if you're the one that you want to start with, whatever you would. I'd like to know the same other panelists what their brief stories are, just briefly, please.
Okay. Do you want to start, Cassandra?
Yes. Hello, Dr. Blair.
Yes.
My name is Cassandra Lewis, and I'm 59 years old. I live in Baltimore, Maryland now, and I worked as a corporate legal secretary. My targeting started in Washington, D.C. I know the reason that I'm targeted, and I know the people who initiated the targeting. I worked as a floater legal secretary where they would send me to work for attorneys who didn't have support for that day. In any event, this one female attorney, at the time she was a senior associate, she and another attorney made a mistake, a client mistake, that they tried to blame on me. I found out about her trying to blame this on me from her secretary, who thought it was a big joke. In any event, the next time that they called me to work for this attorney, I flat out refused. You know, I told my supervisor, she lied on me. She tried to get me blamed for something that I did not do. You all will have to find her someone else to work for her. Shortly thereafter, and I don't know by what technology they did this, but I had this, it was like something that came into my head, and it said to me, you can't say what you're not going to do. The only thing that I ever said that I wasn't going to do was to work for this attorney.
Okay, now I said that scenario again. I thank you for that brief overview. If the next panelist there would also state as much as they want to, who they are, if they choose to, and give me their story, and then we'll start back from the beginning.
Okay. Dorothy, do you want to go next?
Sure. Dorothy Mackey. My events began at 18 months old. I am 52. I have 5 degrees, including a law enforcement degree that I work with police and sheriff. Mine began as rape, sexual, psychological, and physical abuse until I was 14. I would deal with programmers and handlers. I wanted to go to law school, be a U.S. senator, and run for the U.S. presidency since I was a small child. Instead, I was manipulated into the military where I was repeatedly raped as an officer and a commander and put through torture. This was in the 1980s. Ended up being a sex slave. When I would leave honorably as an officer and commander, having reported ongoing rapes and abuse of multiple men, women, children on the base, no one would do anything, and this included senior officers, generals that were involved in such. I would leave the military in 1992, having no way, after my own marriage was destroyed to a fellow military officer. I would then go to the VA, where for 20 years I was systematically abused and brutalized. I would witness the same treatment of other fellow sexual survivors and those who were put through sexual slavery. Again, this was called the Monarch Program, and under mind control. I was systematically broken down, deliberately, intentionally by organized criminal trauma networks. This also included being attacked in jobs to shatter me repeatedly, and rather than getting help and safety, I was re-brutalized throughout the time. It also included killing of a partner, and I was told to shut my mouth or I'd be dead next.
Wait a minute, did you say killing your partner?
I have had to deal with the same type of things that have happened that Aaron Alexis talks about. The VA actually would tell me, people in the VA would say, don't you hear voices, don't you hear voices, don't you hear voices? And so I've had to actually be, for lack of anything else, a political prisoner in my mother's home, my childhood home, to reverse engineer my entire life to find out what happened to me, because these criminals attempted to have me hurt someone in a very high office, and I'm refusing to do such.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing. It sounds like yours must be the worst, but who knows? Is there another panelist there or two more panelists?
Okay, James, do you want to go next?
Yes, hello. My name is James Lico.
And please speak into the mic, please, so we can hear you.
Okay. You're kind of faint, James, if you could.
Okay, is this any better?
I'm sorry, I cannot understand you, please.
Oh, wait. Well, let me get on the phone.
Okay, that's much better, James.
Is this better?
Yes, it is. Please go ahead and give me the information you wish to share with us. We are all listening.
Yes, hi. My name is James Lico. I was targeted first that I know of in 2010 in July, shortly after I was laid off from work. After 10, 11 years of work, I received much of the same type of things that you were talking about with Aaron Alexis, microwave, burning, stinging, ringing in the ears. There's another weapon that I call a sonic beam weapon or infrasonic beam weapon that Aaron was talking about. That's the ELF, or extremely low frequency one. This is constant, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, not harassment. That's a misnomer. It's torture is what it is. And it seems more like weapons research to test the effect of these weapons over a long period of time, and also the radiation. There is a government program. The Air Force just offered or awarded a $49 million contract to do directed energy tests on human subjects. And I'll stand by.
I see. Thank you very much. Is there one other panelist, or is that?
Okay. Yes, there's one or two more if we have time. Nola, did you want to share anything?
Yes, my name is Nola. I live in Washington, D.C. My target.
I'm sorry. The name was what?
2000. Nola.
I'm sorry. The name was what? What name did you give?
Nola.
Nola. All right, Nola. Please go ahead.
My targeting started in 2009. I'm a former federal government employee. I hurt my back on my job. I filed for a workman's comp claim when I returned to work on full-time duty. I just noticed people following me, like Aaron Alexis. From there, I began to get the electronic assault and the voice-to-skull synthetic telepathy, like Aaron Alexis.
Okay, thank you, Nola. Gloria, did you want to share? Okay, maybe she isn't there, but so go ahead, Dr. Blair, if you have any questions or anything.
Okay. Now, again, this is just amazing to me. I'm not at all not understanding extra low frequencies, because ELF waves are one of the worst things you can get. And, of course, they've used ELF waves to control weather through the HARP program, through European Scattered Scalar Technology, High Active Aurora Research Program. Russia has one, ELATA. So I understand if you have these towers, I've warned people a lot of times with the use of cell phones and all like this. But this is taking it to a level that most of us were not aware of. We only thought that things were possible. What you're saying is not only possible, but you guys have gone through hell. You understand now this incident that happened with Aaron Alexis. Now I can understand how anybody could do that under those kind of circumstances. So what I want to do, I'm not sure which panelists to now include. I know our audience is listening. I would say all of them are dire because each and every person that must be going through this must hate everything. And the fact that you guys even came together to use sanity in the face of all of this means that there must be a creator somewhere which can still try to keep us human with spiritual souls while we're faced with obviously either aliens or people who are worse than aliens, that they have no compassion, probably no souls and no spiritual self. So with that in mind, we have two choices. If each of you now would like to go into more details about what you said, or if we'd like to open it up to our audience to see if they'd ask you questions, I'll let that be you. I will not control this one. I'll simply say whatever it is that the audience wants and you want, I just want this to come out so people fully understand what we must be up against at this time in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Hi, if I may.
Yes, you may.
This is Dorothy. I just want to give a little bit of history on this. Hitler actually requested a study to be done in Northern Europe. It was called the Hitler-Himmler-Eichmann study, and it was on watching and recording the effects of severely abused children psychologically, physically, and sexually. And then they would implement those tortures on many children in the camps, so they had a great deal of rape, tortures, and abuse. When those, quite a few Nazis would come to this country under Operation Paperclip, many of them were put in most of our universities across this government. They created NASA, so there were positive aspects, but the other aspect, and please know I'm talking about this from their criminal perspective, they saw that severely traumatized children under the age of 5 or 3, that's debatable, that age, would in fact reap benefits. And those benefits could not only be that the child will be literal, they would be stronger, they would be have longer endurance, they could in fact have 44 times the visual acuity or all sensory surround acuity. They also had a photographic memory. And that's just some of the different traits that they saw as benefits. What they would be used for is they could be used for super soldiers, spies, sexual entertainment, suicide bombers, but also sex slaves. So this was some of the stuff that was coming out of these. And this also is impacting America because pedophilia is off the charts, as well as children going missing in this country, between 150,000 and 300,000 a year. It doesn't seem to be on anybody's radar, but sadly I am a living product of this, in which I was shattered. And part of the issue with any of these traumas is that it begins to impact the judgment of the victim, the rational thinking, the cognitive ability to rationally think, the ability to speak and articulate. So all of these things together begins to break down this person. And 57 questions were also put together by the Pentagon. And again, this group of Nazis and other people that were willing to be supportive of them also began to set up what would become known as the False Memory Syndrome Foundation. That would virtually deny the trauma of rape victims as well as domestic violence victims of these crimes. And this would then begin to filter throughout the country, which is also a reason why so many of our courts have refused to even hold people accountable for these type of crimes, deeming that it's repressed memories and therefore it is not legitimate memories. There were 57 questions that were put together by the Pentagon in the 70s throughout our military on an unknown number of bases, and this was at the minimizing, or as the Vietnam War was winding down, in which numerous victims of severe rape and brutalization in the military, men and women, because men are also being equally brutalized through rape and abuse, were denied accountability, denied even holding these criminals accountable that were brutalizing them. In the VA, this has gone on for many, many years, in which so many of these victims have become homeless and denied the right to even work or recover.
You know, when
so there's a little
listen
bit of
to
history
Nurse
for you.
Joyce
And
Riley,
DSM-4, DSM-5, which is the psychological manual, actually deems that victims of these crimes are mentally ill. I'm saying rape, physical abuse, psychological abuse, rather than emotionally damaged. And when they are given true safety, they can move on and recover.
Okay, now you say when they're given what, they can move on and recover. I didn't understand that phrase you used.
True safety. True
safety. Okay, true safety is
real safety.
Away
they are
from
actually
this
being
abuse,
denied it in this country right now. And for many years they've been denied this.
Wow.
Hello, Dr. Blair.
Yes.
This is Amy. Going back to my finishing up what I was explaining to you, I began to realize that I've been a human subject all my life. And when they use you for government mind control, they send you on secret missions and place people in your life that does not connect up with your normal life experiences by experiencing mysterious and abnormal, unusual behaviors within these people and yourself. And they use these people to come in your life, interrupt your life, intercept it, and alter your actual God-given life experiences. So as I was saying about this immigrant, he was placed in my life for multiple reasons. He was placed in my life so that he can gain his citizenship, be a taxpayer, because when you become while fighting for your citizenship, you have to, establishing your citizenship, you have to show that you can pay government taxes. And while this immigrant was set in my life, he was set in my life to remove my family from my life and use the child protective system against me and alter my mother's behavior and have her all of a sudden hate this immigrant and feel like he was coming into our life and interrupting our immediate family relationship. So my mother was led to believe under mind control that she needed to get my cousin from me and leave me with this, and they escaped and leave me with this immigrant. So my mother used a city bus driver. A city bus driver was placed in my mother's life, and the child was given to this city bus driver and not a family member. And in a 2-week period, to make a long story short, this immigrant, my family packed up and left me. And prior to that, this immigrant had got me my guard card, security guard card under Homeland Security. And 2 weeks later, he left me in a motel. And this motel, I didn't know, I would later on realize that when I became a full-blown targeted individual to be tortured, my last place of employment for this top-secret government security firm would be 200 feet from the last place that this immigrant would abandon me and leave me in a motel, and they would reestablish a new life for me. So here I have it. My family is gone. This immigrant is gone. I'm left alone. And I'm calling my mother in rage, this crazy rage, and angry with her, and wondering why did she turn on me, and that wasn't my mother. I grew up with a nurturing mother. So my mother turned into a handler under mind control to get me to be alone so they could program me under mind control as to establish a new life for me as this security officer. So I end up established a new life. And then when I got settled, that's when the targeting began. I ended up living in my home, and while I'm living in my home, hello? While I'm
yes,
in
I'm
my
listening to you. Go on. Okay, I thank you very much for sharing that one. I know, as I listen to this, and I have people coming into the center, some of them missed this, I'm just flabbergasted. Shall I say, I know that this earth has vampires, evil people, people who are pedophiles and so on and so forth again, but to see that this has been going on all, when I heard about Operation Paperclip, I heard about Product Monarch, I heard a lot of these things, but now to actually see it come full circle, I'm hoping that this does not start a wave of these kind of killings that went on, but I can definitely understand why it might have happened. And in fact, I'm still reeling from this one. It's very hard for me to get to a reeling sense because I've been poisoned myself and they killed me and all this thing too. But to hear you guys, I'll say one of the things, thank you so much for being strong enough to come together within your own perimeters, with your own consciousness, and sharing with the rest of us what we might be subject to. If ever there was a need now for either rebellions or for people to wake up and watch what's happening, I think this is it. Again, I'm not sure which one of you wants to say more. I can turn it over to the audience to see what they have to say, but I'm just thank you very much for giving me this privilege to see what some of my fellow humans with souls are going through as these soulless consciousness, and I have no words for what they do, are still doing it. They'll get theirs, but it's just interesting to hear it tonight. So if there's someone else that wants to elaborate more, if not, then what I'd like to do is to turn it over to our audience to see if they have questions. So again, I leave it to you.
Yes, I do. Again, Dr. Blair, my name is Cassandra, and I was talking about how the attorney wanted to blame something on me. Well, it seems that my name was passed to some secret program, and I believe it is government-based. However, I do believe that they have a lot of criminals who are helping them. They have rogue police officers. They have rogue fire engine officers. They have rogue EMT people. They have people placed in just about any industry or company that you can go in. In any event, I experienced the same types of things that Aaron Alexis did. I experienced the vibrations almost daily. I experienced the gang stalking. In the early stages of my stalking and being set up for this, I began to experience these feelings of always wanting to slap people, to slap children in particular, which is totally unlike me. I am a very, very meek person, and I think that what they try to do is try to induce these feelings of rage. I think that in some people it works, and some people it does not. In any event, I no longer have those feelings of wanting to go around slapping people, but I have electronic assaults on my body, and they first started in 2007 with a feeling of like I was going into a seizure. It only I was actually laying on my bed. It only lasted for like a couple of seconds. After that seizure episode, I started getting this trembling and tingling in my legs and feet. This trembling and tingling is now the same type of vibrations that I feel daily. I have many things that happen to me during the day, and it seems to come remotely. A lot of us don't know whether or not we have been implanted or whether it's done with some type of a frequency that is aimed at our heads. In any event, it's almost like you're being roboticized. I have my limbs that move all by themselves. I have a clicking and a buzzing in my ears, along with sometimes I have intermittent tinnitus, but clicking and buzzing in your ears is a sure sign that someone is using a microwave frequency on you. It is being aimed at you. So there are many things that we all go through, but I do believe that for the most part, most people are slated for targeting based on something that you have done to make someone angry. And then that person that you have made angry somehow has a connection to, to have this done to you. I do believe that also there are just convenient targets that are being practiced on. And to be a target, generally you have to live alone. It's mostly women. And you generally have a meek personality. Not all the time, but there are reasons that people are slated for targeting. This targeting is talked about now all over the world. There are people in different countries who talk about this targeting. So it appears that it's got something to do with population control. And I won't say anything else, but I would like to read a quote that this stuff is in fact being done. In December the 1st, in a military publication called the Defense Viewpoint,
I'm sorry, you missed the Defense what?
It's called the Defense Viewpoint. This was a quote that was printed on December the 1st, 1998, from Secretary of Defense William Cohen. This is what he says. One can envision the development of electromagnetic energy sources, the output of which can be pulsed, shaped, and focused. It can couple with the human body in a fashion that will allow one to prevent your own voluntary muscular movements. It will control emotions and thus your actions. It will produce sleep, transmit suggestions, interfere with both short-term and long-term memory, produce an experience set, and delete an experience set. It would also appear possible to create high-fidelity speech in the human body, raising the possibility of covert suggestion and psychological direction. Thus, it may be possible to, quote-unquote, talk to selected adversaries in a fashion that would be most disturbing to them. So it appears to me that these technologies really are, they're developed to be used on what you would call enemy combatants, or if you're in war with someone else. But first, what they're doing, they are trying it out on their own citizens, on innocent people. And I just have one last thing to say. The stalking, generally most people are stalked before they experience the electronic harassment. The stalking is put in your life simply to, it facilitates two things. First of all, if you go around, you're talking about, people are following me, but nobody else sees this, folks will start thinking that you're delusional or that you're starting to experience some kind of mental instability. However, it's my opinion that stalking is put into place to make you look like that. If certainly you're going around talking about people are following you and stuff and no one believes you, when the electronic harassment starts on you, it's certain nobody's going to believe you. So I do believe that the stalking in its initial stages are put there to make you look delusional so that they can start putting this other stuff into your life where ain't nobody going to believe you, and then they can carry out this stuff really unabated. Nobody will challenge it because the person that's talking about this is deemed to have some mental problems. And then the second part of this stalking is that they follow you. They get these people. We don't know where to get these freaks from, and I do believe that they pay a lot of them. But they will get ordinary people to do things, to always try to create chaos, to have some kind of vandalism. All of this stuff is going on just to keep you off kilter so that they can continue to use this electronic secret stuff that they have developed. In my estimation,
all right, I thank you very much for sharing. I want to kind of interrupt you there. I thank you very much for sharing that. As I say, I can tell the hell that you're going through. And again, but I will say this, it's not just with the common people. Again, as we had the officer there, the lady who was the attorney, it seems to be wherever you begin to, as you say, encroach on some territories where somebody's connected with this operation, then they just simply make you another targeted individual.
That's right.
Thank you very
sir,
much for sharing
we are all Aaron Alexises. All targets are Aaron Alexis. It's just that they got to him and they could really get him to do the stuff. But all of this weird stuff that's happening in the news, I do believe that these people have been targeted, and it's just to create chaos in the world.
I understand.
Thank you, Dr.
I understand that very well. Okay, there were a number of people that spoke. I think the Army, the lady who was a Army officer and had a high position, and then she was just constantly seemingly raped and so on like that again. Let me ask you this. As you guys are coalescing, and I don't want to get into any secrets that you may be using to help yourself, continue to use them. At least you're staying sane to this. I don't know if I could stay sane through all of that again. Is there anything collectively you could tell to others outside of what you said, that if somebody gets on your case, you say that you pushed the wrong button at the right time, then this just happens? Is there anything else that you have found that can help you a little bit? Or like, for instance, again, we have a lot, what we call diodes. And I found that diodes can prevent radiation in your cell phones from bothering you. You can lie on it. It will pull radiation and poisons out of your system, out of your lymph system. And so there are things you can use on the back of cell phones so that they do not become as radioactive as they normally are. And I just wondered, again, is there anything along this line? But if that's going to reveal a secret that is helping you, then please don't say it. Because what I want to do now is to turn it over to our audience. So is there anybody that I did hear or that I didn't hear that will want to say something even more or to embellish even more?
Okay, I just want to mention one thing, Dr. Blair. This is Derek again.
Yes, Derek?
First of all, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Derek.
Okay, first of all of us are targeted at various levels. And although there are symptoms like microwave energy attacks, organized stalking, the voices, and various other physical attacks, there are various degrees in each one, and each case is going to be a little bit different in terms of their symptoms. Okay, and also I want to mention that at this time there is no agency, there is no office. We can't go to the FBI or to Congress with our situation, which in many instances are very dire. There are people that in our organization who feel that they will not make it from one day to the next. Yet and still, there is no one who will address this situation, and it's because of this desperation that drove Aaron Alexis to do what he did. I
see. Have any of you contacted, and I say this because the only person I know of status was the ex-wrestler, the ex-governor, Jesse Ventura, who also said he found underground cities, that he found operations there that were making people come under mind control. So has he been of any service to you, or have you tried to get him, or is that a waste of time?
Okay, I've not really made any serious efforts to contact him after the making of his episode. We had many discussions with his staff leading up to the production of that program. Personally, I felt he did his part, and with this episode, we have been able to educate. We've made lots of DVDs. We've placed the episode is on YouTube. We've sent that link out to thousands of people, and I think that's an invaluable reference for us in the community. And as far as I'm concerned, he's did his part for the time being.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Again, if anyone wants to contact you again, is that 800 number the one they should call, the 571?
Right. That's 800-571-5618.
That's 1-800-571-5618?
That is correct.
Okay, and your email, is that the info@freedom? Or so give me your email again for those in the audience who want to contact you.
That's info@freedomfchs.com.
That's info@freedomfchs.com.
That is correct.
All right. For again, those in the audience, again, that email is info@freedomfchs.com. The number there for the freedom from for what I think it is, for covert harassment and surveillance, that's 800-571-5618. If any of you in the audience, and I know our audience ought to be very large today, want to address the people there, want to make your own comment or so, please just give me a name and a place you're calling from. A name and a place you're calling from. And you push 5 star, and we'll recognize you. In the meantime, those in the audience coming in, those at the center, we're in the middle of our broadcast here. People who have had harassment, they've heard voices. The same thing that we heard about Aaron Alexis has happened to millions of people seemingly. Thousands of people here have gathered together. They say they number 2,500 people that this has gone through. Some have been raped continuously. Some have been harassed. Some people can't sleep at night. Some people have been having this done for almost 20, 30 years. Others as recently as 5 years ago. They each introduced. We have 6 panelists here, and this is what they were talking about before. Okay, we got some there, Tony. 0342, you're on the air, 0342. If you have a question for myself or for our panelists or a comment, please voice it.
Greetings. This is C. Pearl.
Yes, and speak directly up, please, so we can all hear you.
Greetings. C. Pearl
yes.
from Northwestern Medicine. This is to the panel. My question is...
Tell me where you're calling from, please. I want to get a demographic.
Okay, Northwestern Medicine. That means the entire continent.
All right, thank you.
But, Dr. Blair, thank you. But to the panel, I understand with all the infiltration in the government and different organizations in the government, have you or anyone on the panel tried the international families? Because obviously you're not going to get any help from this quasi-government that's calling themselves our government is a republic government, not a democracy. So have you tried to contact any of the international families so you can make the world aware of what's going on? Thank you.
I see. Okay. So your question is, have any of the panelists tried to contact anyone outside of the United States or to the world government? Is there anyone on the panel still listening that would answer that? Or Derek, can you answer that or what?
Yes. This is Dorothy. Having been pretty well shattered and not fully understanding what had happened to me, I not only brought a lawsuit against 2 senior officers that brutalized me, only to find out that in the federal court system, they were given full immunity based on 7 laws, including the U.S. National Security, the 1947 National Security Act, which really is a very dangerous system, more so than the Patriot Act. But I would go internationally and begin speaking at honorable and reputable locations such as The Hague for Peace, only to find out that the United States government had not ratified that. So if they sign the treaty but do not ratify, then Americans can't get access to it. So simply talking to various people, went to the Vatican. And please know, a lot of my abuse, sadly, was at the direction of the Catholic Church. Please know that there are good Catholics. And as one of the previous speakers said, that there really is an infiltration in every organization, every culture, every religion, from the lowest economic to the highest. There are those that are organized, criminally involved. Then there are those that are the unwitting. They've been told that we're anti-American. There have been others who have been threatened, or family members have been hurt or threatened. Their careers have been threatened if they do not participate. So you have a pretty wide way in which there is buy-in or forced buy-in into these organized criminal trauma networks that are being used predominantly, as I can see, against a great many people who are honest and ethical, those who would not steal money, those who would not cut corners, those who would not turn a blind eye or are simply willing to hate and abuse other people. So,
okay. But in answering Dr. Blair's question, just this past August, we did have audience with he's called the Special Rapporteur on Torture from the United Nations.
Sorry, special what?
With him, his name is Juan Mendez. His title is Special, and I will have to spell this. It's a French word, Rapporteur TEUR, on torture. What he does, he compiles from all over the country, from all over the world, he compiles statistics on each country, how they may participate in any type of torture. In any event, there are a group of targets that did meet with this gentleman. We all forwarded our affidavits, so that is one effort. That's the latest effort that we have made. There are individuals, and Derek knows who I'm talking about, but this individual continually sends these letters to different people in the United Nations with all of our signatures attached. Here in the States, in 2011, there were 2 presidential commissions on bioethics. We went to testify. I attended the one that was in Washington, D.C. in March, but I gave testimony in May, a couple of months later in 2011. And you will find those transcripts on bioethics.gov, and you will also find on YouTube. All you have to do is put in electronic harassment or organized stalking. It will bring up these types of things. So we have done different things, globally regarding this torture.
Okay, Cassandra. Cassandra, yes. To elaborate on what Cassandra just said.
Yes, thanks, Derek.
As of August, we have been in contact with Mr. Juan Mendez, who is the UN Special Rapporteur on torture. Basically, he files complaints with world governments about torture cases. So we have been in the process of filing our individual complaints regarding our government to Mr. Juan Mendez for advocacy on our behalf with our respective governments, both here in the U.S. and then also our worldwide colleagues can also file.
Okay, so you've been to the UN, you've been to The Hague. I'm gathering by the fact that the Catholic and the pedophilia that seems to be running rampant there prior to this coming in Pope again, so the church, shall we say, the UN, The Hague, the World Court, none has done anything for you outside of saying again that you could send petitions to them. Is this the bottom line?
Yes.
That's correct. So far, we've just started the filing process with the United Nations, so we still have, we're still in a wait-and-see position with them.
Derek, I may be out of line, but do you think you could give the reason, your particular reason as to why you believe that this is happening in all of these different countries all over the world?
Are you asking, you're directing that to Derek Robertson?
To Derek, yes, sir.
Yes, Derek, did you want to answer that, or do you want to move on to someone else in the audience? Tony? Yes. Yeah, I need to know when there's people there.
I can answer that briefly.
Thank you, Derek.
I can share from my own belief, and actually from which is actually mirrored from or affirmed from someone who is a mind control. He was captured when he was 13 years old into a mind control program and indoctrinated. And these people informed him that this is a worldwide agenda to control and enslave the human population. And that's basically where it's heading.
Let's ask a $24,000 question. Could this be possibly re-engineering alien technology? You know, it's said that the Germans under Operation Paperclip had gone to the North Pole and that they had submarine bases up there, that they'd contacted the giants from inside the Earth, that they felt that they were the super race, and consequently they should dominate mankind. Do you want to take it that far, or do you think, again, this is why we can't get any heading because everything now is being revealed? Should we even go there, or is that a possibility in your mind?
Well, in my mind, that's entirely possible, and actually that was affirmed by this person who was a victim, a mind control victim, that the technology, because it is so advanced, and the reason it is so advanced is because it's re-engineered alien technology. And that's why you have the mind-reading technology. It can also produce any range of remote effects, on the human mind and body. So because of the advanced technologies that we are experiencing, that we are seeing, anywhere from body manipulation to induction of all manner of diseases to roboticizing people, that is something that I feel is entirely possible.
So you do agree that's a possibility? Well, what can I say again?
I'd like to say something.
It's really been a very interesting thing for me. You in the audience out there, if you have a question or a comment, just give me a name and a place you're calling from. I just want to know in general how far we're reaching people. And you can now speak up if you would. 5-star if you want to talk. 5-star, please.
I'd like to add a comment.
Yes, we're still trying to reach, so again, you're not getting them. I know they're out there.
Right. But with all due respect,
I'm listening. Go ahead.
All due respect to Derek's perspective, my sense is, given the sheer number of galaxies and things that we don't know, I can't say whether or not, I'm sure there is life other places, but I also know, having been a military person, one of the things they do is to divide and conquer. And this goes down to the basic resonance of who we are. If they can have people out there, and again, no disrespect to anybody or their beliefs, but when you're talking about people who are talking about alien technology and the advancement, if you do research, Hitler had what was known as airplanes without wings. He had actually developed a flying saucer and used multiple engines. It actually flew multiple Rolls-Royce engines that could get it to hover and move. Now, it had already been pretty well developed. He had the V-2 rocket, which was remote control. And in World War II, not only did the Germans have jet engines, which showed technology well in advance of Americans, but they also had a great deal of technology that Americans did not have. So the technology between either the alien issue, if you look at Operation Bluebeam, you look at holographic imaging, a great deal of this with an overlay of ongoing trauma, because when the upper rooms, if you will, of a human brain are traumatized over and over and over again, then the subconscious becomes open. And as there's a book out there called The Brain Has No Firewalls, it's literally the use of technology to get people to believe in all these different things. If you look again at the Germans, they had brown shirts, they had black shirts, the soldiers and the abusers, but they also had citizens and child youth that were participating. This isn't any different, except it's much more covert. So again, I'm looking at this from science standpoint and reverse engineering it. And it does not mean I don't believe in a higher power, but I certainly believe that a great deal of this is more explainable than what we want to believe. And I am, yes,
well,
I'm very
much
familiar
aware.
with
I'm a researcher in UFO. I've been at that for almost 50 years. And I am aware of the Foo Fighters that used to target the planes during World War II. I'm very much aware of remember the Tuskegee Airmen. Those are the black, red wings, again, of the red tails. They went over there and encountered jets, and that was what they had in that movie I saw. They said they'd never seen jets before, and they were actually out flying some of the jets. I've also seen pictures of these winged craft up there. In fact, I have numbers of pictures of UFOs. So I will say that, yes, I do believe that there is an alien body on this planet, but I also agree with you that technology is being misused, and obviously all these aliens must be bad, because if there's anything good coming from, we're not getting the good parts. So again, as I say, I think it's wide open. I do thank, again, most of you for being a guest here. And again, if there's anybody in the audience that wishes to speak, please hold your hand up, push 5-star, and we'll recognize you. Well, I have to unmute because I know they're out there for that one again. Okay, folks, we can't. All right, what is it? Okay, well, if there's anybody has anything to say, or if you're afraid to say it, that's fine too. But I don't say later on you didn't have an opportunity.
Hello?
4946? Yes, please, go ahead.
Hi. Dr. Blair, you had posed a question. I'm sorry, this is...
Okay, give me an area you're calling from, please.
Pennsylvania.
All right, thank you.
And I just had a question. Dr. Blair, you had posed the question. You said if there was anything that they were using to...
We can't hear you mumbling. Please speak directly into the phone.
I'm sorry. You had posed a question to the panel asking if there was any technology or anything that they may have been using to assist them, and there wasn't really an answer. So was that because there were some technical difficulties, or is it because no one really wanted to answer the question?
Okay, now I'm not quite sure what you said. I asked them what, and they didn't answer it?
You asked, was there anything that they were using to help them?
Yes.
Like diodes or whatever. There was no answer. So I just wanted to know, was there an answer to any of those questions? Or was it that the panel felt that it's not something they wanted to answer?
I left that to their discretion. Diodes have helped a number of people that I know in a number of circumstances, especially where radiation, ELF propagations, rather than just EMF propagations, has helped. It even takes poisons and things out of the food. It will even neutralize crack cocaine. And if you get something to neutralize crack cocaine in 45 minutes, to me that's something that's it's valuable. But I don't know. They didn't answer, and I don't want to push them if they don't want to.
There are different techniques that many people use. However, you can find a compilation of them on the Freedom from Covert and Harassment website. It's under the link called shielding. You will find that people use. I use a lot of things myself.
Okay, so
thank you. But it's under what did you call Chinovin?
You go to freedomfchs.com. On the left side of the home page, you will find different links. There is a link titled Shielding. That is where you go to find out all the different things that people use depending on how they are targeted.
Thank you so very much. It's called Shielding. Thank you so very much for sharing.
Yes,
that.
sir.
Again, if you have a question in the audience, 5-star while we have all our 6 panelists. This is the time to talk. This is the time to ask your question. 5-star if you want to talk. Hold your hand up and let's recognize you. Don't say it on say that I couldn't get through, because you can get through now if you raise your hand. 5-star. Okay, is there anyone that wants to say something outside of the panelists? Because obviously we're not getting through. They might be jamming us. I have no idea. So if I open it up, it's going to be chaotic. So I'll see again. I don't even have to open this thing up again. See if we can see somebody out here. Okay. Okay, if there's someone that wants to ask a question, please do so now outside of the panel.
Turn it down a little bit.
Horrible.
Is there anyone that wants to talk? Audience. All right, well, then I'm gathering nobody wants to talk. At least you're talking amongst yourselves. So that's the case.
We went out to dinner and movie yesterday. No, we weren't there. She just told you a story because she didn't want you to know. I won't tell you the truth.
Okay, I don't.
Oh, boy.
No one wants to say anything. All right, then I'm.
Noise off.
And partying last night.
It's muted.
No, it's not muted. It's unmuted if you want to talk. All right, I gather that you're having people hesitant to say anything, and I can understand that well, too. If in turn you want to say anything to our audience or to me, again, 5-star.
Probably more people, Eric.
Unmute. Is it 5 mute again?
Conference muted.
Okay, folks, it's you and I and the panelists at this time. Panelists, can you still hear me? Okay. I tried to open it up. I gather that some of our audience, they want to listen, but they don't want to talk, so I can understand that one also if that is the case. We're living at a time, of course, on our planet where many things are happening. We're getting into, again, the flu season. And, of course, with the flu season, people are being they're told, go out and get a flu shot again. You go to Civic, to Walgreens or Walmart or CVS, and you walk in the door. If you get a shot, then they give you a discount on the food you buy. They give you a discount on the products you buy. So again, like I say, from what you guys have said, I don't think you would take any shots. I don't think you take any vaccines, and yet they're again promulgating that. And they're even telling you now, if you sign up for a vaccine or a shot, they'll also give one free to a third world country child. So as I say again, this madness has got to stop. Obviously, there's something going on here that is not only covert, but it's very reptilian or very evil, if you would say that again. 5-star, if you want to say anything more to our audience or to me. And if not, can the panelists still hear me?
Yes,
I can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not getting response from our audience, and I know that there are a number of people there, so I don't know whether or not it's because they are afraid to say something, don't know how to say something, would rather listen. So I don't want to keep continuing to put them on the spot. What I will say again, under the things that we're going through now, of course, we do have what is called weather modification and weather wars. As I state again, the United States has had the HARP program for some time. Over in CERN, over there, they have had the search for the God particle, but they also have the European scattered scalar technology. Russia seemingly has the best weather-modifying one called ELATA. And I do notice that then as we came on the air that there's said to be a storm, a typhoon that's approaching Hong Kong, China. There's already one down in Acapulco. There's supposed to be another storm heading up our coast. I'm just wondering if we're not just seeing mind control and mind influence and things like that, but are they actually controlling the weather so much? Are we reaching a showdown, as the Bible says, Armageddon, as many of the other books say, a time when the alien species here and the reptilians must leave? I'm just wondering, and I know listening to what you've shared with me, and you come from all walks of life, all of you seem to be very intelligent and wouldn't be making this stuff up. What do you think are the real causes for this? I know you've said that you've gone to the UN, you've gone to The Hague. Nobody seems to want to help. The church won't help. So, again, if it is not reptilian, then what are we faced with again? Is there any hope for humankind or people with spiritual souls and stuff? Or do we all have to wind up doing what Aaron did? Just kill everybody walking because nobody's going to help? What do you say again?
Can I say something?
For this?
Dr. Blair, I strongly believe as a spiritual person that if man don't turn to God and ask for forgiveness, the land will not heal itself, the universe will not heal itself, because it is said that man will seek to destroy himself. And as I realize who my attacker is, which is Jonah R. Montranga and Holly Brooks, I began to be a whistleblower, and I had to seek for God myself to help me keep the sanity of myself while we all targeted individuals as known as unwitting and non-consensual human subjects fight for our mind and our spirituality while we ask God to forgive and help and heal the planet. So I strongly believe there is some hope, but we have to turn to God and continue to fight against evil, because evil is lurking the minds of the world every day, seeking and devouring who they can conquer and take over with this microwave energy known as mind control, seeing who the mind they can take over and destroy and make them destroy other humankind as well as the planet. Thank you for allowing me to share.
I see. Well, thank you very much for sharing. Anybody here in the audience here at the Metaphysician have any questions or comments for the panelists, or any questions or comments in general? Anybody, any of you here?
Well, I'll say something. Now, one good shielding product is actually, now they also use this product sometimes to make a Faraday cage. It's tin foil. Now, some use aluminum foil to put around their head and so on and so forth, but that's actually not the one you're actually supposed to use. It's actually tin foil. And that is why actual tin foil you cannot find anywhere pretty much in the United States. The only place that I was able to find tin foil at was a company in the UK, and you have to buy it in bulk, and a lot of it. Okay, so that's the only reason why I didn't personally order so much of it. But and that's the reason why, because tinfoil is actually the best when it comes to metal sheeting-based products to shield you from electromagnetic disturbances and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay. And again, I have found diodes have helped people with a lot of problems. Again, we have diodes that you can put your food onto. You put it on for 45 minutes, it would draw poisons and radiations out of it. As I say, if people, we had a show doing cannabis and marijuana, and what we found out was that a lot of the cannabis and so was being brought into the big cities through very interesting sources and then mixed with heroin. The heroin wasn't strong enough, so then they began to mix it with crack cocaine. Well, we found out that when you put that on a diode plaque for 45 minutes, it not only neutralized the heroin and the crack cocaine, it even took some of the good blast out of the marijuana for people who were smoking it. So as I say again, these are things I think that may be of help or serve. Again, as you always said, you have a website for the other two. At our time on our planet now, we're hearing that there's weather coming again, that the hurricane season has started again. We hear again the flu shots have to be started again. I'm just wondering again, and of course there's still now the thing about pedophilia, which used to be connected directly with the church, which is also very interesting, and that's something they have not lived down. I'm just wondering again, as we see all of these erroneous, hard, what I would say, things that are happening to us that are not nice at all, what is the hope for humankind? What is the hope for mankind? I know I say meditation. I say a belief in the Creator. I say a belief that you can get past things, and as you have shown, you've shown tremendous courage coming together. Is there any hope you feel, or is it necessary, as our sun seems to be doing now, as our sun is putting out? I don't know if so many of you saw that sun we had about 3 days ago worldwide. It was so bright people could not even look at it, as though the earth is getting new energies and new sunshine again. What do we think collectively now, even though I know you're going through the hell, is there really a universal prime creator that can help us out of this, or do we help ourselves out of this, or have we been so bad that this is all that we're able to get from this at this time? Just wondered again about your opinion about that.
I think in part, this is Dorothy, I think in part it would depend on how fractured and how fragile the person is, that while meditation, which I used to actually teach, is a very good system of calmness, if you've been severely shattered and brutalized, that there's actually a CIA process, and it's journaling, it's writing your story, reverse engineering your life to understand and unplug from the trauma, the abuse. If you do not have a conscious full memory, a streaming conscious of your own life, then that indicates that you have a great deal of trauma. And these folks don't want you having your own memories, because if you just use meditation and based on their technology, they can give you forced memories, they can give you things that are not from you, and again, your subconscious is fully open. So that's a significant portion, and that's a necessity first off. But I do believe we have hope. While I believe in a higher power, God, whatever you want to call it, we also have to remember that human beings, it's Christ's love in action, but we also have to be able to pinpoint what is going on, begin to come together and identify those people that are doing these things, but also to, I'm not an advocate of violence unless it's in self-defense of oneself, despite all that I've been through. But these are highly coordinated, organized criminals. They're finders, they are programmers, they're abusers, they're connectors. So and they swarm people. So when people were talking about these organized networks, they really do swarm you and overwhelm you.
And they are psychopathic also. You have to put that there, psychopathic. Something's wrong with these people.
They don't have a problem taking people out.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard that, too. It's interesting, too. A lot of people turn to pharmaceuticals for their help and aid in this. And I had a notation here that a pharmaceutical made by the Merck's Corporation, Vioxx, has killed more people than everybody that was killed in the Vietnam War. And that just really grabbed me. When you can begin to understand how that kind of thing is working now, then, as I say, what hope do we have? Recently, of course, Monsanto took over our government because Monsanto got passed through the Congress of the United States a bill that they didn't change one comma, one exclamation point, anything else, and it stated that if you try to do anything to Monsanto because of the drugs that they are making again, that you not only will get a lawsuit yourself, but that you can't even present it to higher courts. So that kind of got me, too. And the Congress passed that with not even one dissenting vote. So, again, I say, folks, I think there is hope, but that hope has got to come from people talking like this, openly telling what's happening. If not, then I guess, again, we're going to have this conflagration that they talk about, which, of course, if we use nuclear warfare, none of us will survive, or wish we hadn't survived. So, again, it's got to be some place in between there where people with souls, people with consciousness, stop listening to everything that they're saying that's bad and start to practice and do the things that they know they should be doing. Either way, I think if this isn't Judgment Day, it's at least an opportunity for judgment on those who are doing evil versus those who are doing well. I again offer one more time, if there's someone in the audience that wishes to voice their opinion, please push 5 star. Again, if not, then I guess, and if there's not anything from our audience here, which is kind of small at this particular time, then we'll kind of terminate the broadcast for today. Don't want to do it unless there's absolute need to do it. So, again, I'll say push 5 star if you wish to offer an opinion or ask a question, 5 star.
Dr. Blair, isn't it star 5 to be recognized? I think that's what's happening. People are hitting 5 star, but I think it's actually star 5.
Well, star 5. 5 star is what it's supposed to be, but again, if the other way works too, they're just not pushing it. And I think they're really afraid to get into this one or have heard enough themselves and don't want to. 5 stars.
Well, like Amy Anderson says, it's us today, it'll be you all tomorrow.
Okay, there is a question there. What's the number, Tony? 7714, you're on the air with the teleconference. We're listening to you. 7714, and thank you for calling.
Peace, Dr. Blair. This is Ebony Z. Peace to the panel. Greetings. I did have a question. My question was, I'm calling out of Delaware, Dr. Blair.
All right.
Hello. Hi. My question was, don't the health play a major role as far as, like, being attacked by different, like, foreign entities? Like, when you're being programmed, like, doesn't the health, meaning the health of the mind, the body, and the spirit, play a major role?
Well, I always believe in control of the mind when you can, because the mind is to the spirit as the brain is to the body. And mind control means that they get you sublingually. They get you when you're into a different aspect again, like when we go to sleep, per se, and we have bad dreams again, or if we take drugs and we get bad dreams, because when we go to sleep, we actually come out of our bodies. And that's what going to sleep means. So that means that there is a mind that we can use.
Stop muting me.
It means that there is a mind, if there is one, just like there is a brain if they have one. In fact, we have a number of brains in our body. We've got that brain down here by the solar plexus. We've got that left brain, right brain. We've even got that reptile brain right at the base of our spine. And that just, somebody made some very bad mistakes, or they really made these bodies we got into very bad. Because in order to get energy up to the pineal gland, and energy up to the left brain or right brain, you got to go through the reptile brain. And all that reptile brain is to make you a good killer. It is fight, feed, flee, and fornicate. That's all it does. So as I say again, we've got a battle going on here. I think everything is being revealed at this time because souls must understand what is happening on our planet. Our planet is about, I think, to go to a higher dimension. We're leaving kindergarten. We're leaving the just mundane, and I guess some of us won't make it. But I think if we do, we definitely qualify. And these movies that are coming out, like District 9, which shows, again, aliens coming down in Africa, like Revolution, which shows an alien takeover here, these things about zombies. And, of course, a zombie is anybody that's on pharmaceutical drugs or on anything electrical, like a heart transplant or anything like that, again, because it means if the power fails, you're going to die. So I can begin to see a scenario coming on all these aspects, which makes the movies really a truth-telling fiction. But I say again, I still think it's what we do. I thank you for posing that question, and at least I know there was one person out there listening in the audience again, per se. 5 star if you
You're welcome.
Voice. You're welcome. Thank you.
Dr. Blair?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go on.
Okay, I just would like to comment on something you just
this is Derek, right?
Posed a minute ago. Yes, this is Derek, and I just would like to say that I do believe that there is hope, and it begins with our coming together in sessions such as this, and in many sessions like this across the country and across the globe. And we are an international organization, and we have members across the globe, and we do come together in sessions like this to brainstorm and to exchange information, and it's very enlightening. It's really been the way that we've been able to survive, and I think that in a larger sense, it's probably the way humanity is going to survive all that we are experiencing, because it does seem like the bad people are in total control. But I do believe that there is hope, and I think that will continue to grow in the coming months and years ahead.
And again, that info on email, again, anybody wants, it's what again, please? Yes, info at themetacenter.com. Is that correct?
Let me hear. I want to hear what he's saying first.
Yeah. Is that somebody in the audience
Blair?
wants to contact you again, and they want to go by the email? It's info at freedomfchs.com. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And the phone number, 800-571-5618, 800-571-5618.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, and that's the freedom from covert harassment and surveillance. Is that correct also?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, just want to make sure if anybody wanted to contact you, yes?
Thanks a lot.
Dr. Blair.
Number 3090-3090. You have the mic if you want to talk, please. We'll recognize you. 3090, please speak up.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please speak up. Tell me where you're calling from, and then go ahead.
Yes, please, Dr. Blair. Brother Roderick. I'm calling out of New York.
All right, out of New York. Thank you.
Yes, I had a question for the panel. I want to ask, what did everybody think of this recent incident with this Washington, D.C. situation also? It sounded like a similar situation.
Are you just joining us now?
Yes.
Okay, you missed that. That's all we've been talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Stay on the line in a second, brother. We've been talking. Okay, we have 6 panelists who have all been TI'd, which means targeted individuals. They have been harassed, they've been poisoned, they've been, electronically manipulated, so on and so forth again. And what is happening is that as this harassment goes on, they all have stated, Aaron Alexis was just one of many. There are over 2,500 people that go through the same thing in different stages. So what they said again, the reason why he did what he did, because he couldn't handle it anymore. And all of them. So I'm sorry you're just joining us. I'm glad you did. But, yeah, that's all we've been talking about. And there's a panel of about 6 people who are all targeted individuals. They're all saying that they could be the next Aaron Alexis because of the hell that they've been put through. So I'm sorry you're just joining us right now, but yes, and they're on the air too. Do you have a question maybe toward any of our panelists while you're still on the line?
Yeah, I had came on, but I had missed the very first part of the DC, but I did hear the responses. I had just wanted to know, wow. Yeah, I was listening to the stuff, and it was very mind-blowing. So you said that it could happen to any one of you all at any time. I had a question. Are you all familiar with transhumanism and singularity? Because there's this thing with Ray Carswell and a lot of these scientists within the next 25 to 40 years. By 2045, they want to merge human beings into machines. And do you all feel like that is one of the situations that is going on, or are you all familiar with transhumanism?
Okay, anybody on the panel want to address that?
Yes, sir. I was given a DVD about this information, and that's why they are altering our DNA with the chemtrails and the genetic modified food to turn us into this transhuman, molecular, cellular human being so they can merge human versus machine and use the machine to take over people. And I would also add to you and say that when this first attacked your body with the microwave technology, it's like you almost go insane. But the reason why you don't go insane, if you are tuned into your spirituality, knowing that there's a higher creator that would not allow you and wouldn't put no more on you can bear. If you don't tune into that part of you, you may do the things Aaron Alexis did, because when you don't have a support system and knowing that you're not alone, you may do these things because it's so overbearing and it's undescribable, the pain that we suffer, the torture, the agony, the electrical shock, the burning of the skin that makes you feel like you are on fire and that you have no control to self-soothe yourself because of the pain. So that's one of the things that our group supports each other to help us not to become this type of person like Aaron Alexis once did. Thank you for allowing me to share.
I see. Okay, well, thank you very much for sharing that. And again, it was heartfelt again. Thank you from New York for there. By the way, too, I'll be up in New York there next week, Creative Welling. And again, I hope that the audience out there will receive me. By the way, too, for those in the New York, New Jersey area, again, King Simon is the one that's sponsoring me in. And that phone number there, if you want more information, is 347-496-1022. Again, for King Simon, the one that's sponsoring me in, 347-496-1022. Again. So anybody else in the audience that wants to share their opinions or so, please push 5-star. And again, your panelists, so again, we'll see if there's anyone else, again, that wants to speak directly to you. 5 stars is the number to push if you want to talk again, per se. Okay. I guess on the panel, I think I let you cover most of your area. I think you did so, and I thank you very much for sharing. As we would sign off, because we're not getting any more want to talk, although we do have a large audience. Is there anything
but Dr. Blair, can I please give some of the symptoms that people are to look out for?
Yes, you may.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Generally, for the most part, you will have a feeling of people following you. That may not happen, but mostly it does. Then you will start to feel, you may start having these weird experiences on your job. In any event, that's a part of the stalking. But then if they start electronic harassment on you, you will start feeling stings and jolts. You will have pains in different areas of your head. You will experience intense itching in different parts of your body that won't go away. You might experience white specks in your eyesight. You may experience these vibrations that Aaron Alexis talked about. These vibrations can encompass your whole body, or they can be isolated to different parts of your body. And it feels like electricity is just running through your body. You can have intermittent ringing in the ears. You may have a clicking or a buzzing in your ears. You may have involuntary limb movements and jerking, where part of your body will start moving by itself. In my case, it was my right thumb. You will have calf, toes, and feet muscle spasms. You may have facial muscle manipulation. You will have nerve and muscle manipulations in your thumbs, your fingers, your wrists, your lower legs, or in your upper body. You will have sleep deprivation. You will have something where it's forced sleep, where they can make you fall asleep, or you can be jolted awake out of sleep. You may have these weird sounds that are coming into your head. They may start it may feel like it's starting in your throat. however you perceive them in your head. Again, you will have the buzzing sounds or the clicking. You may have pulsing in your soles of your feet. You may have feelings as though you're being electrocuted. You'll have electrocuted pins and needle sensations to your feet. Now, a lot of the things that I'm talking about can be ascribed to like different ailments that people, talk about. But targets, we usually experience all of this kind of stuff. You may get frigidly cold, or they can make you extremely hot, so hot where you will start sweating. I have something that I call the electric body explosion, where first my body jolts and it makes me shudder, and then I get an electric current feeling that goes through my entire body and stops at my feet. So you when you start having these really strange things that start happening to you, and they start happening in a pattern, 99% of the time you are being targeted. So I just wanted to.
Okay, well, I thank you very much for sharing that, and I hope that I don't get any of those symptoms, although two of them I get a lot anyway, so maybe I'm already a TI'd individual. I know they were TI'd me way back when they weren't TI'd people. So as I say, I went through my poisoning free and all of that kind of thing. I'll simply say again, folks, these are interesting times, and the weather is another thing I think we're going to have to watch also for. In Chicago today, we actually had some cumulus clouds, white clouds, and a blue sky. And I said, oh, my God, they forgot to spray. So I hope they don't listen to this program and remember how to start spraying again. But either way, folks, I think that there is hope. And as long as people will share and understand that these are commonalities, as long as we have bodies on this planet, as long as we have consciousness on this planet, as long as we have races on this planet, we must understand that we've got to learn to live together on this planet, or else we'll be off this planet, and this planet will be offing us. I think that all these things being done must mean that there are some people out there who are trying to control us that aren't being able to control us. And my thing is, again, usually what goes around comes around. And already, as I say, in the United States, we got floods everywhere. We've got fires everywhere. We've got wars and rumors of wars everywhere. We've got drugs being put into vaccines. We've got chemtrails spraying everywhere. We've got mercury and formaldehyde and fluoric acid in the water. So everything now is trying to take us down. We're still not down, which means, again, if we have the dominant spirit to do what we must do, I think we'll all make it through here again. So I want to thank the audience. I want to thank the panel especially, and I will be back in touch with you with your permission for people that I know who didn't call in, who says that they may be able to find some way of helping. I think you can help most of us because you've already crossed that line and are living with it very distinctly again. So for all you panel members, for you, Brother Robinson, also, too, I didn't hear from BB, and I thought, sure, I'd hear from her today. That's why I thought maybe, again, I'm surprised that you didn't call in, or maybe you couldn't get in. By the way, too, before we do sign off, if BB is listening at the 215 number, please kind of go up there now and let us recognize you, because I know you were very instrumental in putting this panel together, too. If BB or Louise is there, would you kind of contact us before we sign off? I know you're at 215 area code. BB Louise. He's not here. Oh, boy, I tell you, this is interesting. Just in case you were there, BB, if you will call in, we'll recognize you. Okay, I guess she was not there again. Okay. Well, we tried. Thank you very much, panelists. And again, you know how to reach me. I thank you for your time, for your effort. May the Creator bless us all. All right?
Thank you, Dr. Blair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Creator bless us. Thank you.
Okay, Derek, did we just hang up?
Yeah, you can hang up the line then.
Okay, all right. And thank you, Derek.
Thank you so much, Cassandra, and everybody.
All right, bye, everybody.
Okay. Everybody's kind of muted. Let's see. Nola, you there?
Still here. I thought everybody did it. Oh, I'm still here. I thought everyone did an excellent job.
Okay. Yeah, I did too. I think everybody. Oh, let's see. Amy's muted. Amy, you there?
The only thing I didn't get in was how they come into your home. You know, how they legally. But I wanted to say that, but
I don't know who this is from Central Colorado, but we were doing a radio program, so I didn't know who you were, whoever that was. So I had to keep you muted. Who's in Central Colorado?
Hello?
Yes, who's that in Central Colorado?
Eric, this is Judy. I was told you can call in and there are questions you can ask if you want or participate. And every single time I dialed in, I got muted. And
I didn't know who you were, Judy, and you know, I didn't know who you were. This is not really an open conference call. It was people that we'd invited. But you know, if I didn't know who you were, so I didn't know. I couldn't have just anybody say anything, so I just kept you muted.
Oh, I thought you knew my number. Okay, I thought you knew.
I don't see your number. It goes by state.
Oh,
anyway, everybody did well. Everybody did well. Thanks, everybody, for participating in this.
Okay, and again,
and thank you.
And thank you, Derek.
Okay.
All right, when I hang up, it's going to cut everybody off. Y'all ready?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, good night, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.